here at R&G Precision, and Enzo here has just purchased an MX-330. Now this machine landed 2 weeks ago, and pretty much the moment it landed, you've got it running. So how was that?
Indeed. Well, finally I've got my MX-330. I've been wanting one for a while, working closely with Matsura and seeing what it could do for the business. So this was actually an ex-demo machine that they had in their showroom, and I was invited up to see it. Fell in love with it, sent my guy up there while we were waiting for doing the deal. Matsura kindly welcomed him, showed him around the machine, taught him the controls, told me what I needed to buy and everything. So I had everything here ready. When the machine landed, the apps engineer was done after a week and it was cutting. So really good project we did there.
What's quite interesting there is this video is all about efficiency, and it just shows that even before this landed, you were super efficient.
Yeah.
So with regards to efficiency then, Matsura are very, very hot on it. What is this going to do for the efficiency within your machine shop?
Well, we've won a number of contracts now where we're getting like repeat jobs, monthly quantities every month from different customers. Obviously the customers are trying to drive us down on cost, and where before it was difficult to do, where you had one man, one machine, one part running, you were running a level of hourly rate. Now, in order to win more business and be more competitive, if you've got that repeat work and you can see a schedule for 6 months, well, what you do is you load them all on here, you press the button and you go home. So while the factory is not working and you're still paying your rates, your rent, your electricity, your gas, you're using that time to actually produce. So your cost can drive down per hour, still get the components out and keep the customer happy.
It's so interesting because you're literally looking at scheduling and machining in a totally different way.
Indeed, yeah.
So what are your expectations for this machine?
The expectations for the machine are that what I've seen so far is this is the first time that, and it's brand new machine in, never used it before, never had experience with it before. The guys put on parts that we've done somewhere else on here, ran them, and actually passed the inspection first time, which for me was incredible, which shows what the machine can do, its accuracy, and it's less downtime. It's more cutting time and not downtime, and that is so important for a business like us, that you're cutting all the time. So you've got efficiency because you're running lights out, you've got efficiency because no one's standing here, but you've also got efficiency because it's right first time, so it's win-win everywhere, really.
So how, where, what and why caught your eye with this machine?
Well, it's been a couple of years that I've wanted one, and because I've looked into lights out machining before, not really knowing where to begin with it, Dominic, who we've got 2 Matsuras before, pops in and spoke to me about it, and went to have a look at it, went to see what it could do, and it's so compact, and the 10 pallets just makes it absolutely perfect. So we ran a night shift before with guys in, but I just wanted that extra machining for the company where you're not necessarily doing one at a time, one person, just leave it and forget about it. And that's, for me, that's the most important thing, that you can leave it. There is a bit of thinking towards it.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you.
There's a bit of thinking towards it. There's a lot of engineering to get the parts right. You know, do you do the same op on the same part on the same billet at the same time? Do you do one complete component and then move on to the next one? There's a lot of thinking behind it, but it's worth the time, because once you've put that time in, it's just phenomenal. It's great. You come in and they're all done.
Well, actually, you kind of answered almost my next question, is what are the considerations that you have to consider when you're looking at lights out, running, the tooling, and how did you overcome these?
Okay, so the main obstacles for us, and why it took us a long time to actually finally get there, was running the parts, number one, to get the components from our customer. Telling our customer what our plans were, and they are giving us these components on a monthly basis. Secondly is it convenient to run? Have you got the hours? Because you don't want to run 8 hours. No. You don't want to run 6 hours after you've gone home. You want to run 24. So have you got the work? Is the work cycle time long enough to cover your 24 hours? Your coolant, your emptying of your your swarf buckets. There's so much. But also the most important thing is actually to run the whole process during the day when everyone's here, prove it out, prove your inspection. Inspection is another issue as well. If you get an inspector come in the morning and he's got 40 components thrown at him, he's going to be... So you have to automate that as well. So there's lots and lots and lots to think about. But definitely, once you've done it and you've got the right project, there's no better way to do it.
So just to finalise, you've kind of gone on quite a journey to get to where you are today. You've got the machine in, you sound very positive. But what is it that Matsura have done to help you really get there?
Well, in a way, they've always been at our front door. Dominic's come in and always trying to push this machine to us and saying, you know, it's the one, it's the one, it's the one. They told me that they had one in the showroom, so they invited me up, actually saw it in action. I took one of my 5-axis guys with me so he could see it. And we saw it working, we saw what it could do, we saw the kind of work it was doing.
Yeah.
But also, not only that, we saw the work holding that Matsura were using. And that's when it actually clicked to me and I thought, God, yeah, I can actually see now, physically, what they mean. You can get like 10, 20, 30, 40, 80 components on there. And you can even probably run for a whole day and night and no one come near it. So that is actually when it sunk and I thought, that's where the business needs to go because competitors are doing it. And if you don't do it, you will fall behind. Yes, you can always machine on spindles, but it's one spindle. That is one spindle, but it's a spindle by itself and there's no operators. Once it's loaded, it's something it runs by itself. And not only that, we're also thinking now of having the work holding as it is, so 80 components, having someone coming in when the machine stops to reload them, but instead of standing there reloading the actual billets of material, he'll take the whole pallet off,
Yes.
put the whole new pallet on and just go home, so it'll be seconds. So again, as an improvement, downtime, it's non-existent and it'll be cutting more than what it is standing still.
I don't think I've ever done a video which talks about efficiency in so many different ways, all to do with one machine.
I just love it. I'm so excited what it can do and what it can do for the business. And I like working with the guys and projecting forward, how we can do things and how we can make things better.
So all in all, you're happy?
Yes, indeed, yeah. And I think Dominic knows that, bless him, because he came in and I put some stuff up on social media and he couldn't believe that after a week it was cutting and he said, I had to come and see it. And I said, well, it came in, you helped us, you prepped us with everything we needed, the pallets were modified, the work holding was bought, the tool holdings were bought, it was all waiting. As soon as your applications engineer was done, my guy was clued up, ready for programming, literally cut straight away, and can't get a better service than that, I think.